The University of Pennsylvania has agreed to prohibit individuals that were quote unquote assigned male at birth from competing in female sports. And this, for some reason, has progressivist advocates up in arms. You and I need to talk about this. I'm Marcus Peter. The University of Pennsylvania made a statement. This is their latest decision. They've agreed to prohibit individuals that were, quote unquote, assigned male at birth from participating in women's sports teams. So they've implemented what they're calling a biology-based decision or definition of male and female categories under Title IX. Now, there's a reason why this is so crucial in terms of its language, but really what's going on is UPenn is cooperating with policies coming out of the Department of Education, and thankfully, policies that are reflecting sound reason and reality in biology. Prior to this, the manipulation of Title IX argumentation, especially under the Obama administration, came to include, so it's a non-discriminatory policy, Title IX, but under the Obama administration, it came to include also, quote-unquote, gender identity. And therein lies the problem. Because if you're appealing to the laws of biology, then sure, those discriminatory processes have to be stopped. When we talk about gender identity, all of a sudden, the lines not only get completely blurred, they get erased. And so that's what we've been seeing. From the federal level, that's what we've been seeing, that men are competing in women's sports, and it's presented a tremendous problem. Now, a settlement that's following the federal finding that UPenn violated Title IX resulted in federal funding of around $175 million being withheld earlier this year. And so really there's a financial incentive at play here. The Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, described the outcome as a victory for women and girls. And gosh, it's also a victory for reason, a victory for logic. So the policy going forward, only athletes who are biologically male, assigned male at birth, could participate in male sports, and therefore only athletes who were biologically assigned female at birth can participate in female sports. This immediately brings up the concern of a particular individual named Lia Thomas, who has been going by the name Lia Thomas. He has been trying to identify as female for a while now, and he's no stranger to all of us. He's been competing at the collegiate level, and then now he's attempting to compete at the professional level for swimming. And so he holds records from 2021 to 2022, and he holds medals as a reason of holding these records.
After following NCAA guidelines of a year of hormone therapy to change gender categories, Thomas started her senior year on the women's team. But her success in the water was met with outrage leading up to the NCAA championships. Her critics say she jumped in the rankings between the men's and the women's team.
And there are some who look at the data and suggest that you're enjoying a competitive advantage. What do you say to that?
There's a lot of factors that go into a race and how well you do. And the biggest change for me is that I'm happy. And sophomore year, where I had my best times competing with the men, I was miserable. And so having that be lifted is incredibly relieving and allows me to put my all into training, into racing.
And thankfully, UPenn has revoked and removed his medals and his records. And therefore, all of the runner-ups from him, those people, the biological women who competed and who won those places rightly, they've been elevated to first place. And they've been restored as eligible female swimmers and therefore female winners. UPenn also issued an apology for each affected athlete. They received personalized apologies from the university. Now, this is capping a major transgender athlete controversy at the collegiate level. Thankfully, we are seeing broader federal tightening in terms of at least reasonable decisions. Now, I want to talk about some other issues pertaining to this problem, which is the Title IX problem. The Education Amendments of 1927, they actually call, this is the statement here, no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. This is the point I was making, that in 2016, under the Obama administration, gender identity was grandfathered into this expression. And that's the beginning of all of these violations that we've been seeing. What's the Catholic response to this? The Catechism makes very clear, paragraph 369, man and woman have been created willed by God on the one hand in perfect equality as human persons, but on the other in their respective beings as male and female, man and woman. John Paul II in Mulieris Dignitatem, paragraph 10 says, sexual difference is a reality which has its foundation in the will of the Creator. It's a richness, not a limitation. And that's why the Pontifical Council for Family put out a document, the Lexicon of Ambiguous and Colloquial Terms, said to attempt to change one's sex, even through surgical or hormonal intervention, is to falsify the truth of the body and the integrity of the person. And so this is the issue at play here, that it is a matter of justice corresponding to reality, that we have to keep fighting for the sake of the women in our lives, for the sake of the children in our lives, that they have fair avenues of competition, where not only will they not get harmed, but their hard work will pay off based on the laws of nature and biology. And so I'm really glad that we're seeing this come full circle and come into play here. Now, mind you, this is not to say that UPenn as an institution has jettisoned modern critical social justice theories and therefore quote-unquote woke ideology. But at least this is a step in the right direction, and we can hope that sanity will prevail. Let's keep fighting for the world and our republic to reclaim reason in right order, and let's keep men out of women's sports. Thank you for joining us. I'm Marcus Peter.